Hello, VC. Have you ever been so late to the party on something that when you did discover it, you're like, where have you been all my life? Well, I just came across a record that, I've seen featured so many times, and I finally picked up a copy, so stay tuned for more. Hello VC, I'm back with you to do another update on what I've been spinning recently. So this is going to be a mixed bag of some jazz, alternative, and one French record. So let's get into the jazz first. This is the case where I was late to the party. And what album was I late to the party on? This guy. So this is Dexter Gordon's One Flight Up. It was recorded in I want to say 63 maybe. I'm not seeing a date. It is when he went over to France. And this guy's been shown so much in the VC, and I'm only getting onto it now, and I'm really sad that I'm finding it now, because I think this is probably a masterpiece in Dexter Gordon's Blue Note catalog. I'm also starting to appreciate the compositional skills of Byrd. In particular, the first track, Tanya, is just, oh man, it's such a beautiful track. A little bit dark and brooding, very cool, very long. I've been spinning this guy like several times this week, and I'm still trying to absorb it all. And I can't recommend this enough. This is definitely a highlight in the entire Blue Note catalog. This is the 75th anniversary reissue. I think Heavenly Sweetness also did this. I'd be curious to see how that sounds and how it was pressed. Of course, all of these guys are pressed at United, so it's hit and miss, but this pressing turned out halfway good, so I can't complain. After purchasing it once and opening it up and finding a Frank Sinatra record, and then taking it back and finally getting another copy, but other than that, this is a masterpiece. Definitely pick it up. So I mentioned Byrd, and I'm slowly getting into his early 60s work with Blue Note. This is another beauty. This is a new perspective, Byrd and voices, and this has an accompaniment by voices, and the voices work like another instrument in the band, but this also features Hank Mobley and Kenny Burrell. Herbie Hancock, Butch Warren is also on this, and this is just groundbreaking. And again, another 75th anniversary Blue Note edition. I think this is one of the first ones they dropped back in 2013. I definitely think it's a highlight in Byrd's 60s Blue Note catalog, so definitely worth picking up. Don't get distracted by the voices, because the voices actually work as another instrument in the band, and they were, all the tracks here were arranged by Duke Pearson, who is just a phenomenal composer in his own right, so definitely check this guy out. So moving on, next record was an incredible disappointment to me, and this was a Third Man fan club edition of the Dead Weather's latest album, which is Dodge and Burn, and little bit different cover art for the fan club edition. I actually like the original release version of the artwork. I think it's a little more eye-catching, but this album was a huge disappointment for me. I really felt that the band, at least Jack White, is using the same tricks over and over again. The guitar riffs feel like, things I've heard before, and, outside of a couple songs, everything was written at the same tempo, really a lot of things in the same key, and it really didn't leave me wanting to listen to it again. I mean, I'll probably spin it a couple times to see if it grows on me, but I really like Alison Mosshart. Jack White plays the drums on this. And what's kind of interesting about this, if anyone has the original release, I'd be curious to have this in it, but the fan club release has like the Hallmark card sound thing going on. So just once again. And, you know, they do a good job with the packaging. The fan club, they usually have it on colored vinyl. This comes in this orange color, and you know, they usually have some interesting things in the dead wax. This one says the wee redhead, and let's see if they have anything else. Weep Heat Hat Red. Okay, whatever. Pressed at United, of course, because it is in Nashville. You know, it did come with a very nice booklet and a lyric sheet. Again, if anyone has the standard release, let me know. Because I'm really curious to see if the standard release had this stuff. And, you know, I am, in this case, since it's a record I really don't love, I'm not going to go out and buy the standard release. For me, that would be a waste of money because I wouldn't really spend it. Next up is another alternative album. This is by Tess Parks, and she is working with Antone Newcombe of Brian Jonestown Massacre fame. Tess Parks is very kind of an interesting vocalist. So if you like gravelly female vocals, kind of in the vein of Stevie Nicks, but a little bit deeper and a little more melancholy, then Tess Parks might be worth checking out. Of course, you know, if you're a fan of Brian Jonestown Massacre, I mean, she works really well with Antone Newcombe. This guy here, who's looking a little bit healthier, he's gained a little more weight, but heroin addict, or a former heroin addict. You know, when I last saw him, he was really skinny. But they hooked up in Berlin, kind of a nice gatefold here, and recorded some really good tracks. This one just happens to be on orange colored vinyl on A Recordings. And let's see, looking at the dead wax, I can't make out exactly where it was pressed, but the pressing wasn't bad. It was nice and quiet. So if you like Brian Jonestown Massacre and kind of a mix of someone who has a voice that's a little bit gravelly like Stevie Nicks, then definitely check this out, give it a sample. It's not too bad. Now the French record. So I've been a fan of this band for a while now, and that is Holden, and this is Sideration, and you know, I have no clue what they're singing about, but the track that really struck me that came out in the early 2000s was a song called Madrid that had very distant guitars, very smooth and cool, a little bit jazzy in some ways, but this is more on the French chanson type style. Came with a nice download card, and don't think the vinyl was overly impressive. It was just a black, just issued on black vinyl. But it is limited to 500 copies. This was done at MPO, which is a French pressing plant, and yeah, you can get it directly from their website. Mine was numbered, so that's what I've been spinning, folks, and hopefully I'll have some time to spin some more stuff this week and do another video for the next weekend. But please leave a comment if you've gotten any, and have a great week, everyone.